Wolf Pac update. Now, last year we had gotten 10 states to introduce our resolution calling for a convention to get an amendment to get money out of politics. That's the 28th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Oh, the idea of if we get that amendment and every time you open up the Constitution or your kids in school are learning the Constitution and they read it and they see that 28th Amendment you put in there, that would be unbridled joy. It would be amazing. And a lot of people in our country's history have gotten to feel that joy. Abolitionists, suffragists, women couldn't vote, and then they got an amendment and they could, and then they went to the voting booth for the first time. It was amazing. We'd be kind of going to the voting booth for the first time in a sense because we'd be going in a voting booth where we actually made a difference, as opposed to money making the difference, which is what happens 19 out of 20 times right now. That is an actual fact. Now, last year we had that introduced in 10 states. So how are we doing so far this year? We'll have it introduced in 20 states. We have doubled our success, okay? Now, last year we had it passed in none of the states. This year we have it passed in 2 states, including the largest state in the union, California. Now, what are some of the states that have it introduced that are coming up right now? Well, I'm proud to announce 3 new ones. Maine, our state leader there, Zachary Richards, is in charge. Montana, yes, that's a red state. Yes, they care a lot about getting money out of politics. They're one of the leaders of that movement. Will Yates is our state leader there. And then Minnesota, Alexander Falconer is our state leader there as well. All 3 have done a phenomenal job. They couldn't do it without their team, and we couldn't do it without them. So we're coming. In Minnesota, there was a different legislation before that said, hey, you know what? If an amendment is not passed by Congress in a certain number of years, then we will go to a convention. We would have taken it because Congress is never going to pass that amendment unless we force them to, right? But in this case, it's our resolution. And it says we're going to a convention and we're going right now. Okay, now let me give you a sense of how many people have signed our petition. Now, we don't have huge money backing us. We don't have infrastructure backing us. We don't have anything backing us except you and I, right? You guys and our crew here at TYT. Our petition is almost at 100,000 signatures. That's 100,000 Americans that have signed on. Now, we're a little short of that. Go to wolf-pac.com and put us over the hump. Get us over 100,000, and that would be a great moment, and we'll do that imminently. I think that probably by next week we'll be there. 100,000 man army. Some call it a mountain army that we have. There isn't anything we can't do without it with 100,000 Americans. Okay, we have over 10,000 volunteers that actually make phone calls, that take some time out of their day to do that. A lot of our volunteers are veterans, and one of them said something great. He said, look, man, I risked my life in Iraq and Afghanistan for democracy. What, I can't come back home and pick up a phone and make a couple of calls to state legislators to rescue our democracy back here at home? Of course you can. If they can take that kind of courage and take that kind of action, you can at least do that. So however you want to contribute to the success of this campaign, certainly if you live in Minnesota, Maine, and Montana, by all means, mount up, because those resolutions are introduced and we're coming right now, okay? But in all the other states as well, we've got 20 that are on the docket for this year, and we've got to get 30 more. Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going because we need 34 states, okay? So join our army. Volunteer. If you don't have time to volunteer, for God's sake, you got 10 seconds to sign the petition, and then become a member, okay? That's another way that you can contribute. So wolf-pac.com, making great progress. Join our team, and then every time you see that 28th Amendment, you'll be able to say, I did that.